Hi guys, for today we are going to be talking about Chapter 7, Analyzing Business Markets. First, let's talk about the learning objectives. Number 1, what is organizational buying? Number 2, what buying situations do business buyers face? Number 3, who participates in the business-to-business buying process? 4, how do business buyers make their decisions? 5, in what ways can business-to-business companies develop effective marketing programs? Number 6, how can companies build strong loyalty relationships with business customers? And lastly, how do institutional buyers and government agencies do their buying? Now let's move on to what is organizational buying. First is business markets. This consists of all the organizations that acquire goods and services used in the production of other products or services that are sold, rented, or supplied to others. Next are business markets. Number 1, fewer larger buyers. 2, close supplier-customer relationships. Professional purchasing. Multiple buying influences. Multiple sales calls. Derived demands. Analytic demand, fluctuating demand, geographically concentrated buyers, and lastly, direct purchasing. Now, what are the 3 buying situations? First, straight rebuy. Number 2, modified rebuy. And lastly, new task.
So who are the individuals involved in the buying process in the buying center? So here are the following individuals involved in such process. First, we have the initiators, then the users, the influencers, the deciders, the approvers, the buyers, and the gatekeepers. So, let's start with the initiators. When we speak of the initiators, these are individuals who first recognize a need or problem that can be solved through a purchase. They trigger the buying process. An example would be an engineer noticing outdated machinery and recommending a new system. Next, we have the users. Users are the people who will actually use the product or service. Their feedback is crucial in defining product requirements and evaluating performance. They often initiate the buying proposal and influence decisions based on practical needs. Next, we have the influencers. Influencers affect the buying decision by providing technical expertise, specifications, or recommendations to a company's products or services whenever they want to introduce or purchase one. They may not make the final decision, but are key in shaping the criteria for evaluation. An example would be an IT staff advising on software compatibility. Next, we have the deciders. The deciders are those with the formal authority to choose among suppliers and approve the final purchase. They are often the senior managers or department heads of a company, especially in high value or strategic purchases. Next, we have the approvers. When we speak of approvers, they are the ones who authorize the actions of the deciders or buyers. They ensure that the purchase aligns with the organizational policies or budgets. An example would be a finance manager approving a large capital expenditure. Next, we have the buyers. The buyers, they are the ones responsible for the actual procurement process. They negotiate terms, finalize contracts, and manage supplier relationships. Typically, procurement officers or purchasing agents are responsible for the actual procurement process. Thus, they are classified as the real buyers. And lastly, we have the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers of a company control the flow of information to other members of the buying center. They can restrict access to decision makers. An example would be an administrative staff or purchasing agents who screen vendor communications. Next, how do companies target within the business center? Here are the most important questions they must ask. Who are the major decision participants? And what decisions do they influence, and how deeply do they influence these decisions? And lastly, we should also determine what evaluation criteria do they use. Because in the purchasing or procurement process of organizational buying, business buyers seek the highest benefit package, which includes economic, technical, service, and social benefits in relationship to a market offering's cost, since businesses would like to maximize their profits while at the same time minimizing their expenses. Here in slide 9 can we see a visual representation of the 8 stages of the buying process for organizational buying in the business market.
Stages in buying process. Problem recognition. Someone in the company recognizes a problem or a need that can be met by acquiring a good or service. General need description and product specification. Next, the buyer determines the needed items, general characteristics, required quantity, and technical specifications. There are 6 types of stages in the buying process: catalog sites, vertical markets, pure play auction, spot barter markets, private exchanges, and buying alliances. There are 5 types of e-procurement: vertical hubs, functional hubs, direct extranet links to major suppliers, buying alliances, and company buying sites. The stages in the buying process. Proposal solicitation. The buyer next invites qualified suppliers to submit written proposals. Supplier selection. Before selecting a supplier, the buyer center will specify and rank desired supplier attributes.
So next we have a supplier evaluation model. So this helps assess suppliers based on 5 attributes: price, supplier reputation, product reliability, service reliability, and supplier flexibility. So meaning dito magbe-base ang decision-making process. So for example, yung price at product reliability, mataas yung importance weight niya, which is 0.30. Meaning sila ang mahalaga or dapat na i-consider. So instead of service reliability and flexibility naman, dahil mababa sila, at dahil mababa ang importance weight niya, which is 0.10. And next, kailangan mo i-rate ang bawat attribute ng supplier from 1 to 4. So dito we have price is excellent, supplier reputation is good, product reliability is excellent, service reliability is fair, and supplier flexibility is good. So next, para makuha ang total score, kailangan mo i-multiply yung rates sa corresponding importance weight niya. Then ito total mo lahat, which gives us 3.5. Next slide, we have supplier selection. So first, we have overcoming price pressures. So mga businesses kasi, usually nape-pressure sila magbaba ng prices. So instead na mag-offer ng mga discounts, pwedeng gamitin ang solution selling, which is pag-offer ng package deal or mga bundles kesa nagbebenta ka lang ng single product. We also have risk and gain sharing, which is when the supplier and the buyer share both the potential risks and benefits of a deal. For example, papayag ang supplier na babaan yung presyo, pero may persyento siya sa future profits mo. So, nakakatulong din to sa pag-build ng trust and relationship with the suppliers. So, ang number of suppliers, we have 2 types. First, we have single sourcing, which means isang supplier lang. Mas better kasi ang communication at coordination niya dahil isa nga lang yung supplier mo. Kaso, risky siya since baka ma-delay yung supplier and wala kang like backup supplier. So, next we have multiple sourcing, which multiple suppliers, less ang risk ng supply interruption, and naka-encourage siya ng competition between suppliers na leading to better prices and services. Ang downside lang nun, mas mahirap lang siya i-manage since like marami nga yung suppliers na makakausap mo. Next slide, we have stages in the buying process. So, babasahin ko na lang. First, order routine specification. After selecting suppliers, the buyer negotiates the final order, listing the technical specifications, the quantity needed, the expected time of delivery, return policies, warranties, and etc. Next, performance review. The buyer periodically reviews the performance of the chosen supplier. Next slide, we have developing effective B2B marketing programs. So, kapag B2B marketing kasi, mas makakatulong makabenta kapag meron kang strong communications and effective branding. Systems buying and selling. Sa systems buying, kapag complete yung package ng product ang binili. And sa system selling naman, kapag binebenta mo ang full solution bundle ng products or services. Total problem solution from one seller, turnkey solution. So ang turnkey solution, this means the seller delivers everything needed so that the buyer just has to turn the key to start using it. So for example, ang isang hospital, bumili na siya ng complete laboratory system. So kasama na dito yung machines, software, installation, training, and maintenance. So lahat ng yan, manggagaling lang sa isang supplier lang. Next, role of services. So, sinasabi kasi in B2B marketing, products solve a need, but services build the relationship. A company that offers both becomes a trusted partner, not just a...
So here we have buyer-supplier. Buyer-supplier relationships can range from simply to deeply collaborative. Basic buying and selling involves simple and routine exchanges. A contractual transaction is defined by a formal contract. As the relationship deepens, you might see cooperative systems where the supplier and customer work together. In a collaborative relationship, the two parties invest in a joint project and share information. Mutually adaptive relationships are the deepest, where both companies make their significant adaptations to their processes to work better together. So the goal is to move towards a relationship where the customer is the king. And while strong relationships are beneficial, they also come with risk. Opportunism come and it can be a concern, where one party takes advantage of the other. Therefore, managing business-to-business customer relationships requires building trust and establishing the safeguards to manage risks while maximizing the opportunities that come from close collaboration. And finally, let's look at two special types of business markets. The institutional market includes organizations like schools, hospitals, nursing homes, and prisons. These organizations provide goods and services to the people in their care and often have specific buying needs and budget constraints. Then there are government organizations, which are major buyers of goods and services in almost every country. So government purchasing processes are often highly formalized, requiring open bidding and extensive paperwork. So that concludes our presentation on analyzing business markets. Thank you for listening.